if you're attacking and you die really far forward is that you'll just respawn and be regrouped with your entire team anyways.
So there you have it. We're going to be moving on to King's Row here as well. We saw some very interesting King's Row play in the first game of the day. Creation definitely seemed to have that one under wraps, and anyone going up against them later on, whether it's or whoever makes it through this lower bracket now, had best be on their best behaviour as well in terms of dealing with that. So, Melty, I'm thinking back to the start of the closed beta as well, because there's a period, of course, where I didn't see too much from them as they realised that they weren't the best in Europe anymore. But generally, King's Row, a fairly comfortable map for them. We saw D-Gun be very prolific on Farah, especially in Death Alley in that second stage of the map here. But now they're defending to start with. No surprise that we're going to see Cabal obviously playing that Symmetra. It used to be Board, actually, who'd be the Symmetra guy. Board would do it. It almost seems like they've swapped a little bit here as well. And that allows Board in some cases to be flexible. We've even seen him go over towards Junkrats and even Winston's earlier on, whereas Cabal will normally just sit and play the Lucio role and generally stick to that.
So, setting up, pretty standard, D-Gun on the Rat again. Anything here that just jumps out to you? Is this just a anti sort of pressure setup with the Symmetra, or pretty normal?
The Symmetra on defense on King's Row has kind of like been faded out because when you run a Symmetra, you try to full hold. You want to hold for as long as possible, but you're so weak on the first hold because Symmetra, as the shields are so weak now, the 25 health isn't really that much compared to 50, and her she doesn't have any healing. She doesn't have any big utility to make her a great support. The reason you run her is because of the teleport now, and the problem on King's Row is that you see a lot of double McCree or just really aggressive compositions trying to just push onto the point over and over and over again. And that's where Symmetra really struggles.
Because she can't really stand up to those guys as well. She can fight with that left click as well. It auto-targets people. FPS 101. But this is Crew. Great work by him. The pressure on towards Flippy was seriously strong. He knew that Flippy was such a linchpin. And there it is. He's also going to take out D-Gun. So defensive capability for Melty on this point has pretty much been nullified.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's a lot of the zoning capability, denying the spam of the grenades, but at the same time, that ability to just kind of one-off, snipe those characters as they step on towards the point. Guys on the ground doing a pretty reasonable job, but soon getting some serious work done, still backed up by Crew, who's been raining those rockets from the skies, and suddenly, I mean, it's just enough time that we've been able to see Flippy make it back to this position as well as D-Gun, but they're kind of fighting in halves now, and that makes this first point a pretty easy cap for Graviton Surge.
And now Graviton Surge have wall hack as well. You saw Soon put that one up, so there was no chance for Flippy to even try and contest against Soon or go 1v1. It was always going to be at a disadvantage, and Crew's just going to get aggressive and force them back like they did on Gibraltar.
Yeah, I like that he uses the last little bit of that recon visor. He saw where Flippy was, and he's like, if he comes over a little bit too close, he's all by himself, and it would have been a pretty easy pick. Very smart Flippy to retreat, turning around as soon as just looking for that opportunity as the payload just kind of rolls along.
So he's feeling pretty confident right now, I can imagine, after that first point. And to be fair, it's because players like Crew created a lot of space for him. He got Flippy, he got D-Gun. There's really nothing for you to worry about as a Widowmaker except maybe McCree that gets up in your face.
It's two phenomenal picks to get the start.
Incredible stuff from Crew, really. He really made that fight work. I love seeing that stuff as well. Barrage, he actually goes for Flippy because he knew Flippy would be the one that could shut him down while he was ulting. Quickly turns around, he gets rezzed up. It's a 3-for-1 trade there as well, as Board was actually the one to get the kill. And you can see Crew there as well, getting rid of Cabal. He was keeping it contested, trying to slow the payload down.
That play was actually really smart because he didn't know the Widow was there, but he heard, because Widow and Tracer have basically the same footsteps, so you heard the
clop, clop,
the high heels. So he turned around instantly and killed the Widow, so the Widow couldn't kill him off during the ult. So that was just such a smart play by Crew.
They just have so much momentum here, already making their way into the Foundry now. Graviton Surge is really making time. I think this is going to be super difficult if Melty can't get a big stop or two very soon, trying to make the push on their own once they go to the next half.
Look at the other side, getting aggressive now as well. He waited for the shield to fade away, but the stun didn't connect, and now the Earth Shatter comes down. It's going to be a chance for Melty to hold on here as Crew just pieces out. Actually, no, he's going to go the underside. That's a very cheeky little thing you can do as Farah. You can get behind enemy lines by dropping down and using your boost. Unfortunately, he got D-Gun in midair, which is no small feat. But again, she gets taken down there by Board again.
We trade out, yeah. Board making good use of what damage he can put out, as he also does have that res available. We have a res for Kratos and a sound barrier. And the recon visor, of course, will be useful for trying to make their next big push in, but you know, the barrier and the res on Melty's side is going to make making that push stick a bit difficult.
Sound barrier comes down now as well. We may have ourselves a fight here, or at least perhaps a disengagement here from Graviton Surge. No, they get Moonell and they actually want to keep coming forward. Soon continuing to feel confident here. He also, I think, has the wall hack up for a couple seconds and see if he can connect onto anyone else with it. But he'll get on towards the payload. Zebasai now is going to channel that Deadeye. There's no Reinhardt here to speak of right now, so yep, he'll be happy enough with Flippy there as well. He had to decide, see if anyone else is going to walk into his field of view, and Zebasai's going to keep getting aggressive. What a great attacking side from Graviton Surge.
I mean, he does get flashed out by Nico. I mean, if he had been able to get a flash there on him and the Reinhardt, that could have been enough to close out the defenses here and get this first point. But time is so tricky because it's still pretty fast for them to be able to get it in if they can get it. Nico steps up trying to get Skipjack, but not quite enough there. So even if he can't get him, they pushed him back. They bought themselves a good bit of time. He does get him on the tail end of things. And I believe also Cabal was able to finish off soon, maybe with a knockoff there and the deny on Crew's ult.
Yeah, Crew also tried to go back around, I think, yet again. Yeah, this is where he was. So
some cheeky plays.
Yeah, really cute, actually. I mean, I saw this on Reddit quite a while ago, but Pharah players can get around behind the enemy team. It's sick for barrages, right? Especially if the team's not ready for it. But Crew's already tried it twice now, and it hasn't really worked out either time. So
third time's the charm.
Yeah, well, you're not wrong. We'll see if it works out, but Graviton Surge to start things off.
Yeah, it gets everybody clumped up, super close together, not able to get crazy amount off of it, now getting the snaps. There's the res to bring him back, flashes in onto Flippy, takes him out, but there's the sound barrier, holding it together on the side of Melty, and we see Moonell getting very far forward, trying to shove these guys back, bringing out the hammer, pushing Crew back out of the foundry, so buying as much time as they can. This is helping them a lot with how fast they got through that early phase of the game. This is giving them a lot more time to work with. Every second here is precious.
A lot of ultimates being spent there as well.
Yeah, the problem with that push was that they used 3 ultimates where they can basically only use 1. So on defense, you shouldn't be that worried about being too greedy, because if you're too greedy with your ults, you'll just get pushed in and have a horrible time. So I do like that they aren't afraid of using their ultimate, basically.
No one there being caught by Nico, and Zebasai's actually switched over towards the Reaper now as well, just to deal with D-Gun. I guess he's getting very, very aggressive, but soon gets himself a couple there as well. He switched over to that McCree, and he's making life a little bit harder. And the Earthshatter comes down, somehow soon avoids that, and he's going to keep going forward now as well, looking to try and get on towards that Zarya. Cabal actually falls as well.
Wow.
Nevix gets himself too. I think Cabal actually was knocked off the edge and fell straight down. It's a team wipe as well, and this payload's going to get across the line. There's going to be barely enough time here for Melty to stop it, and you can see them running desperately on towards the point board. He's going to get there as well. Moon charges on towards the point. He hits Skipjack in midair, but Zebasai comes through. Got to try and clean up there with the Death Blossom. Flippy comes in with the Diva as well, just trying to keep this in stasis.
Actually getting themselves a little bit of extra time here. Not too bad. There's the Graviton Surge to pull them all in together and finish this off. And woof. That last push there, the 2 kills for the Lucio really only happens one way when you get to the end of this map.
I think he booped him, didn't he? He booped the other Lucio and the Reinhardt. Stunning stuff there. And Nevix, a well-deserved player of the game for him now. This is probably it, boys.
Nice moves here by Nevix coming up towards the end. It gets so frustrating. Kicking a man when he's down.
God. Okay, so he booped Moon off the edge. That's so cheeky. Oh, dear. Another one for the abattoir, boys. Send him off. So, there it is. 6 minutes and 22, guys, on this map. That's not a bad time at all here for Graviton Surge. And Melty, in a similar vein to Watchpoint Gibraltar, have appeared to struggle to set their feet and actually put up a solid defense. In the last stage, I think MKO can agree there were some moments there where Melty were able to hold, but eventually they were just completely run over the top of.
Well, they were basically set up for failure from first point because they had just... Their comp was so weak against what they were up against, and then Crew just basically... He 2v1'd upstairs with 14 HP, basically winning that push alone, and then they never really fully regrouped for second point, and they were so far so far behind on ults, they would never hold the second point there. But they got their feet back on last point, and they held for longer than I expected, at least.
Yeah, I mean, if they had rolled over as easily as the first 2 big points, then definitely this would have been borderline impossible for them to recover on. But 6 minutes, 22 seconds, it's doable. They're going to need to make a good pace, and I love that you bring that up. Crew with the Pharah just rolling in, immediately destroying the Junkrat and the Widow, opened up so much playing field for everybody else to just go ham.
Well, gentlemen, let's see now if Melty are up to the task there. We're talking about their defensive hold being a little bit outdated, maybe not suited well if you're actually going to brawl on the point and actually skirmish more than just try and flat out wipe the enemy team time and time again. The days are over where Melty can throw up a wall on the first point of most maps and actually expect to hold it reliably, where they used to be able to do that very frequently. However, we do see Nevix actually playing Symmetra as well for the side of Graviton Surge. I mean, this comp is pretty similar. I think because Crew is also, as D-Gun was, is on that Junkrat here.
Yeah, but instead of the Widow, they have the Soldier, who has basically more... Because the Widow is more pick-focused and the Soldier just adds more damage in the fight.
Right.
So they basically have a much stronger teamfighting composition, and Symmetra isn't like... It isn't garbage in teamfights. It's still usable if you go for the flanks and you can latch onto the Mercy, basically. So I think their composition is better suited for the normal meta. I'm still not a big fan of Symmetra, but it can work. And if you hold the first point and get your teleport, it's really strong.
And again, if D-Gun attempts to get up behind by sprinting, of course, jumping across, he's going to have to deal with Soon, who's also being pocketed currently by Kratos and will have help close by. So we'll see. We'll go with D-Gun for a little bit and see what he plans to do. It does appear that he wants to get up behind and try and start something up here. He doesn't know if they have a Widow yet or not. He spots the other 76, and he's, for that reason, happy enough to peek again and take a couple pot shots. But he knows that he needs to deal with Soon, because from that position, it's a great place to be as 76. You can get a lot of damage done over time. You're not trying to kill anyone. You're just trying to get people low and just set things up for your teammates.
Also just causing chaos, right? Being able to make his way so far into the back of this line. As Flippy steps forward, going for them trick shots. Does tag the Rat, not able to quite get him. And Crew actually does pick D-Gun off as Zebazai is able to snap Bode.
So that's the main difference now as well between the start that we've seen from Melty on the attack and the start we saw from Graviton Surge. Soon's still alive. He managed to hold in position. D-Gun goes down, and then Soon just drops down on the point. Adds some damage to the fight. Backs up his Reinhardt. Obviously, great position to be in as well if he can punish people for trying to actually break that Reinhardt shield, because there's damage coming from behind it. So Soon sits back on the point, and now Melty have to try something else.
So utility is 76, can just come right down. He's the Swiss Army knife of Overwatch.
Very much so.
So Moon putting up the shield. I mean, they're trying to make this slow push forward. Of course, there's a shield on the other side. Kratos does have the res, but so does Bode. So options are mixed. Now, D-Gun has kind of made his way around the back. He doesn't have that visor up yet, so he's got to be careful with where he's going to try to choose. Gets the Helix rocket in on a couple of them, but the Rat shows up and he gets wrecked.
And we just saw the teleport go live there as well, so it's going to be that much easier for Graviton Surge to establish a bit of a full hold on this point now. Deadeye being channeled there as well by Nico. Got himself 2 kills there. At least got rid of Soon. And Zebazai's not actually able to hold. There was an offensive res coming out there, if I'm not mistaken, and that gives him a few more bodies on the point. But Kratos there has no one else to heal now. He's going to have to fall down. It was a sound barrier used. Melty are going to get this point eventually, but you see they had to back away from Crew's Riptide there as well. But he's going to come in now, try and hold it. A little bit too sharp there, Nico. He's able to pick up the Rat. Zebo gets himself onto the point now as well. And even Soon can channel his ultimate, but great Earth Shatter by Moon. That was probably the one thing that could have made it a lot harder for Melty to take the point. But Moon dealt with it quite easily.
Some pretty aggressive defensive plays there, trying to shut it down towards the end as Flippy goes forward and actually gets himself 2 picks on Kratos and Skipjack. So manages to grab Crew too. I was actually about to say they got slowed down quite a bit to take that first point relative to how easy it was for Graviton to grab it, but this is actually going to give them a lot of time to move forward now.
And we've seen how reliant basically Graviton Surge has been on the Crew making the plays, and shutting him down that early just gives him so much time and so much free space around the second point.
So Crew switches straight away after getting picked as Farah by Widow. It's a pretty unenjoyable experience. He's going to make the switch, and soon you see him getting aggressive. He's going to deny this high ground away from Flippy, prevent him from actually being able to play forward and try to take down any sort of reinforcements that might come through. I think Nico got behind there as well, but it doesn't seem like he managed to get a heck of a lot out of his Deadeye there. He's going to be jumped on as well. Good turn from Graviton Surge to address that threat in front of them. But now Moon L has the barrier advantages. We saw that Skipjack's was broken down. He's going to be able to bring that up in a second. Soon again, consistently pushing forward. And look at how Melty just had to straight up disengage from this. I like it. It's a clever decision, but still they're going to get rolled over if they can't get away from this fight.
Yeah, pushing him so far back, and we've actually passed halftime here in terms of being able to get all the way to the final because of how quickly they were able to go last time. And everyone's kind of scattered around. This is a super aggressive defensive posturing, just shoving them all the way back. You've got a little more than 2 minutes to go here.
So you can see Kratos, we haven't talked too much about him recently. Very active, all right? Always someone to heal. There's always someone to be damage boosted as well. And you need to be aware of your surroundings. What can threaten you right now? Look how quickly his ult charges up. And Crew's actually going to go in for this fight. He's got the Dragon Blade ready, but who will be his target? He actually has found D-Gun there as well. I think D-Gun's like a global taunt for him. If he sees him, he's going to go for him. But unfortunately, doesn't get much value out of that one there as well. Nico's going to channel, gets the kill. Melty winning this fight out as well, and with no Kratos there to res, this payload probably gets to the next checkpoint.
Yep, they're at 4 minutes and 15 seconds, so they've got 2 minutes to get into the Foundry and all the way through. Snaps up soon, though, so getting rid of a good bit of the defensive capabilities off the board.
Yeah, a problem we've seen from Graviton Surge is that Kratos dies a lot with his ult. A problem we saw from the Drakeus, the healer from Creation, a while back when they had some struggles online. When you have your ult, you are the biggest priority on your team, and you have to think about that. And one thing, teams aren't that bad at you. If you just stand back, you won't die. You have to think so carefully about your positioning when you have your ult.
Flippy actually going over towards Zaya here, guys, as well. And you can see he was able to help D-Gun out there, gave him the shield to help him deal with Crew. There's not much charge on the cannon there now as the Earthshatter comes through, and Flippy is actually going to survive that one for the most part, but still, most of his team just gets smashed.
Yeah, Graviton Surge is a pretty good dead stop here on the payload, keeping in mind, of course, you've got just about a minute to go. That speed that they were able to move with on the aggressive side has given Graviton Surge a pretty good position to work with as they have to finish this map in a minute, and it's not going to be one of those scenarios where the overtime is going to be helpful.
The one hope is that they do have a Graviton Surge not far away as well, so the wombo combo is potentially going to be there, but they need to make it work here in this case. Here, Nico challenging that Deadeye. He's going to create some space now. That's going to allow D-Gun to get up in the air and potentially even get behind here. He's constantly being pocketed by Bode, so he needs to be healthy. He needs to also charge up his barrage. That's an important part of this combo now. There's the Graviton Surge being used. You can see D-Gun gets up and above. Great couple of kills, and then he has his ultimate ready. Don't know what he was supposed to be using that on as well. Of course, the res is going to come in pretty instantly, and D-Gun really has to get this next kill, but no, Soon's going to take him out.
This could be it for them. They've only got 20 plus seconds to go, barely in this position. Deegan comes in, gets Soon, and Zebazai and Nevix trying to hold this off just barely as Crew steps forward with the shield. We do have that Earthshatter, but actually Muno was picked off, so Nevix is here trying to get the deny. We're up to 6:10. They got 12 seconds to get the payload in. The Divas are coming out to help and try to block this, and I don't think they're going to be able to get it through the Diva if they continue to just boost straight on to the point with 5 seconds to go. Doesn't look like they're going to be able to get it.
No, last few seconds are going to be a tough one here as well, and this payload isn't going anywhere. Zebasai stays on there, and Graviton Surge take the game away. It was a damn good hold there as well, and things went very well for Soon as he switched over towards that McCree. That probably won the game there for Graviton Surge. A huge stop, I think 4 kills from him. We're actually looking at D-Gun to see what he was going to do when he got rezzed up after that, but Soon, I didn't realize that he had such a clear shot with his ultimate there.
Yeah, the problem there is that Deegan went for the 50-50 because he knew Mercy was on the left because he saw the healing beam, but he thought it was in the pocket with the small health pack. That's why he shot his ult there, but he was actually hiding way further behind, and if he just flew in and got the 5-man rest, that basically won them the game.
So I think he channels as the res comes in. He gets back in the corner. This is a great time to use your Deadeye as well, waiting for that res patiently. No shield available. Get the heck wrecked.
So good from Soon to close things out. And now that gives them the nap advantage here, so...
It's huge. It's absolutely huge.
Just going back to that as well, the